4 Flight 539, radio check please.
Loud and clear.
Thank you, sir. We're headed over to Camden for the Breakfast Club this morning.
That's a long haul.
And we're making it non-stop. Good morning, Columbia approach, 4 Flight 539.
4 Flight 539, comes up, September 3024, share request.
Yes, sir. 4 Flight 539 is a RAND Model S6, headed to Camden for the Breakfast Club this morning, requesting flight following. As Shaw approach from 4 Flight 539, we're 7.5 miles southwest on an inbound course of 060. Cloud bases here are at least 2,500, good visibility below. And Camden traffic, 4 Flight 539's 2.5 mile final, runway 06 in Camden, descending through 900 feet.
Let me know if you see me, I'm looking for you.
Roger that. And Camden traffic, 4 Flight 539, 3/4 mile final, 6 Camden.
weekend? What did you fly? 140. The blue and white one out there? Oh, okay. Where'd you come from? I'm sorry, what? Oh, Rowan County. Yeah, we have a breakfast club up there. Okay. Well, thank you for making the effort to come. Did you have a good weekend? Did you stay for the whole weekend? Was it a good weekend? Good. Excellent. Excellent. How many people do we have at the Breakfast Club that have never been to one before? You've never been to a Breakfast Club? Well, guess what? You're now a lifetime member. This organization started back in 1938. It was started by Thomas Summers, who was a local businessman in Orangeburg. And he started it kind of impromptu. He was looking for some time to spend with his daughter before church. And Thomas had an air coupe. And he and Sylvia would get in that air coupe and pick an airport and fly to it and have breakfast. And before long, some of his friends who were also flyers in the Orangeburg area got wind of what he was doing. And they'd call him up on Saturday night, say, Tom, where are you going tomorrow? We'll follow you. And it built up from there. But they had a little bit more flexibility back in the late 30s, early 40s. Beaufort County sponsored the Breakfast Club on the beach at Hunting Island one weekend. They had 25 airplanes land on the beach at Hunting Island in the 50s, was it in Lamar? 53. The town of Lamar wanted to have the Breakfast Club, but they didn't have an airport. So they blocked off Railroad Avenue downtown and had the airplanes land on Railroad Avenue and turn on Main Street, and they'd back them up against the storefronts and lock them in the parking lots, went in the restaurant and had Breakfast Club downtown Lamar. And we used to think it was kind of a story until Sylvia sent us pictures of the airplanes. We've got pictures of the airplanes on the beach at Hunting Island. My favorite picture out of Lamar is a detailed bonanza at the local gas station, getting gas before you go. But nowadays we're relegated to airports, but we've got some interesting airports on our schedule. Triple Tree, I know we just had Triple Tree fly-in last week, I think. How many people have been to Triple Tree? Good, good. It's a very challenging strip, isn't it? We've also got another grass strip into which we go at Broxton Bridge Plantation. You ever been to Broxton Bridge? That's a neat little airport. It's about 5.5 miles due east of Allendale. And it's a neat little one-way in, one-way out strip. And you need to heed that pretty close. The one-way in is over a field, no obstacles. You have to watch for the fence on the end of the runway. And then it's about 2,700 feet long, got a dog leg at the other end, and then you take off going towards the fence. I know we've had one person land over the trees successfully, and the last time we were there, we had one person land over the trees unsuccessfully and went off the end of the runway into the pond. But we also had a guy come in the right way, but landed too far down, was basically hot, went into the trees off the end of the runway, knocked wing off his 172, got out and said, can't do anything about it, came in and had breakfast. But I want to thank y'all for coming. Y'all are now lifetime members. One of the things that Thomas Summers did kind of as a little bit of a joke, was to assign the ball, or have a pilot assign the ball who made the worst landing when it came to the Breakfast Club. And they would have to sign the ball, take it home with them, and bring them back to the next Breakfast Club. Well, between 1938 and 1946, they lost so many balls because the pilots who signed them wouldn't come back that the president started to keep them. And our last president, Gerald Ballard, used to say that he had the last ball, he had that ball for 30 odd years. And he said, I think I went through 4 airplane wrecks with that ball. You know, he flipped the parrot off the end of the runway with it one time. And that ball is in the display counter at Orangeburg Airport, along with the bowling bag he used to keep it in, most of what's left of it anyway. And we started out with the same tradition, but it got to the point where, in our experience, people started making such good landings, we had to broaden our scope for candidates. So we started targeting the tailwheel guys. And then the tailwheel folks started making such good landings. We broadened it yet again for people making accomplishments, especially young people getting ratings or certificates, who were going off to school to join the military to get ready for that, or people flying unusual airplanes, which in a weekend like this, you usually never lack for unusual airplanes. But we've had some interesting ones come to the Breakfast Club. Do we have any candidates here who are prospects for signing the ball this morning for whatever reason? Flying an unusual airplane, making an interesting landing. Nobody's got a candidate for the ball. Very well. Well, we'll let it pass this weekend. First number on the ticket is 0. All right. Second number is a 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
Third number is a 1.
All right.
Fourth number is a 0.
Man, I got it.
Fifth number is an 8.
Nope. Nope.
Last number's a 1. Who's got 081? Rhoda. Oh, come on.
I think that was rigged.
Yeah. There you are. Here's one we found down. You know I forgot. All right, folks. That pretty much brings us to an end today.
539 is taking runway 6 for departure, departing the pattern area to the southwest out of the downwind. Thank you guys for having us for the Breakfast Club this morning.